It is now 10:02 and the SSDAC is hereby called to order. Our roll call is Murphy,
Here and accounted for.
Okey dokey, Todd,
I am here, present.
Elia Hawk, Commissioner Hawk. Not present. Okay, and David?
Here.
David is here and Cookie Peden is here. So we do have a quorum, and for our city employees, we have Michael, Scott, and Jason present with us in the room.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
Hello, good morning, everybody. Okay, Scott, take it and go.
Good morning, everybody. This morning, we're reviewing some, sign permit applications for appropriateness for multiple locations here. I've combined a few of these because of similarities in their locations. The first location is 2425 Canton Street. This is in the Farmers Market Sign District. There are 4 applications at this location. They are 2401170006, 2401170007, 2401170008, and 2401170010. The second location is 2828 Ruth Street. This is located in McKinney Avenue Sign District. And this CA application number is 2401170013. Third location is 903 Slocum Street. This is in the Downtown Special Provision Sign District. And these 2 sign applications are 2402160010 and 2402160021. Okay, we'll be starting with the first 4 at the Canton Street location. Proposed signs are all attached. The first 3 are composed of aluminum illuminated channel letters mounted on backer panels, and they'll be on the northwest, northeast, and southeast elevations, bearing the name Public Storage. The 4th is composed of non-illuminated flat cutout letters mounted on a backer panel located on the southeast elevation, bearing the name Public Storage. The first 3 are of identical construction. Applicable code sections met are 51A-7.1600 Farmers Market SPSD. This is the purpose for the ordinance. Location of the subject site. It's located within the Farmers Market Sign District. This site is approximately 0.6 of a mile northwest of City Hall, bordering I-345. Here's the location of the sign district in relation to the other special provision sign districts. The first site is on the northwest elevation. This is the aerial and zoning map. This is for 24011700006. And you can see, as indicated by the star on the northwest elevation there, this will be the location of the sign. And this is the client-provided drawing. The proposed sign is to be installed on the northwest elevation of the building. And you can see the previously installed signs and the proposed sign, as well as the night view. The sign is 388 square feet and complies with the requirements for attached signs in this district. They're going from 2 signs, well, actually 3 signs on this elevation to 1 sign. Apologize. They originally had the 2 signs on this wall, and then the 1 sign to the left that you can kind of see a portion up here. And they're removing that one and the website and going with just the 1 sign. There's the sign details with the overall dimensions. It'll be 8 inches deep, 5-inch channel letters on a 3-inch backer. 44 foot wide, 8 foot, 10-inch tall, 388 square foot. It'll be orange backer, white faces with black returns, and white LED backlighting. And these are the fabrication specifications, engineering, and color key. Sign number 24011700007. This one will be on the northeast elevation, as indicated by the red star. And customer provided aerial. And this is the before and after drawing. And then the dimensions. This one is 25 foot 8 inches by 5 foot 1 inch tall, 130 square foot, same colors, same lighting, and same construction type. Fabrication specifications is all the same. Third sign is going to be on the southeast elevation. This is 24011700008. Customer provided aerial. This proposed sign is installed on the right side of the southeast elevation of the building. This sign is also 130 square feet and complies with the requirements for attached signs in this district. This elevation will have 2 signs. This sign is one of those 2. It will be illuminated. The second sign will be non-illuminated.
The second sign is the one that's on the left-hand side, right?
Yes, and that one will be non-illuminated. And these are the 2 signs that face the apartment buildings.
Is it apartments or townhouses? I can't remember. Is it one or the other?
Townhouses, I believe.
Yeah.
And the specs of the sign are the exact same as the previous sign.
Okay. Before I drop my bomb, does anybody have discussion? Your recommendation is for approval of
Yes.
all of these. Okay. Murphy,
Yes, ma'am.
Todd.
Well, Cookie, this should
Okay,
make
do we
you,
have one more to go?
That's the non-lit,
Yeah.
which,
I'm sorry, go ahead, finish that one.
and then this one is 24011700010. This is the non-illuminated. This one is on the left side of the southeast elevation of the building.
Mhm.
And you saw this in the previous. It's 194 square feet. It complies with the requirements for attached signs in this district. The dimensions are 31 foot 2 inches wide, 6 foot 3 inches tall, 194 square feet. Colors are orange and white, and it is approximately 1/2 inches deep. It is flat cutout acrylic letters on a orange aluminum backer panel. And these are pictures of the current photos of the site. This is the southeast facade. This is the northeast. It's hard to get a good angle of this with all the trees, the highway.
Is the sign already on it?
These are banners.
Oh, these are banners.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
In the northwest facade.
Yeah, the ordinance allows them to put up a banner while it's going through the
Sure.
committee, as long as they have applications. You're supposed to.
And these are the townhouse
Okay.
that we were discussing. This is looking northeast on Canton and then southwest on Canton.
Mhm.
And then east on Commerce and then west on Commerce. And these are a couple of signs around the district. Staff does recommend approval on all four. They did significantly reduce the amount of signs and
Wow.
size from what was there before.
Right.
Wait, go back to the first one, you had the one that faces 345. Because that's the one I was trying to get a visual perception of how large it was compared to what they had before, because they had the, I guess you would call it a logo, and then they had their verbiage.
Yeah, that
I
down.
think,
This one.
yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
But they also had that one that was
On the back,
side
right
over
behind
there.
it.
Because this is that sawtooth,
Right,
so that's all part of the same facade, right?
right.
Mhm.
The way the code looks at it, doesn't realize that it's,
The
Yeah.
setback and stuff.
so they had, that's right, they had that sign and then the west.
Yeah, they had this, and now they have
down to one.
this.
Looks bigger, but it's one sign.
And if you look at it like, that's all that illuminates,
Yeah.
just the public storage,
So
so.
the nighttime vision isn't the striking, it's the daytime.
Right.
Right.
Because of the coloration. Okay,
The other thing with this code is, it allows site allotment for all signs on site. It doesn't necessarily limit them to
Per
one particular
facade.
facade. Yeah, it's a site
Okay.
allowance.
Okay.
yeah, I think I read that someplace in the verbiage, but I don't remember what it,
It is in the report.
yeah, I remember seeing it, I just didn't make notes. Cheat sheet here. Okay,
And in the report, those numbers, the site allotment numbers did go down substantially from the last.
yeah. Comments, guys? Sorry I jumped the gun on you, I was just, there were so many, I was like, have we finished all of them? Murphy, Todd?
Yeah, I think it's a lot cleaner look personally, so, I would motion to
Murphy,
approve.
I'm sorry, it's hard to hear you, can you speak up a little or scoot closer to your mic?
Yes,
Apologies.
I think it's a lot cleaner look and I would motion to approve.
Before you motion, I got a question.
Well,
Okay. No, because I actually asked some police officers at my local station to drive by if they had to go down to Jack Evans. And I asked them if they put this bright orange sign up, is that a visual distraction, especially facing 345? Because I was real concerned. That's always been my big issue with the size of the signage we had before. And because it's bright orange, it's kind of scary to me. I would almost like to see them reduce it by maybe 20% more, just because it's so glaring with that bright orange. That's why I said I'm gonna drop my ball on you guys, because I want to hear your thoughts.
go back to that, Scott. I thought it was just the letters lighting.
Yeah, the letters light up, right?
Well, they do it during
During
The
the
orange.
night.
at night, so it's not, but you don't see the bright orange at night.
Yeah, but I think cookie means during the day.
The daytime. just a visual distraction because it is such a bright,
If I remember correctly, that's the one you see when you're up on that elevated.
when you're
Right.
driving on the
Elevated
ramp, coming around toward I-30,
Yeah.
yeah.
This one is the largest of the four.
Yeah, it was, because I did a calculation and said, if we asked them for a 20% reduction, what would that do? It would take them down to 310 square feet. And I don't have a way to kind of scale how much of an impact that would have. But,
Well, it's less than what was there,
Yeah.
yeah,
signs, as it is today in the proposed.
well, that's why I wanted to hear y'all's feedback, because y'all are the sign professionals. And you know which colors are most striking and catch your attention more. And that's always been my concern when you, well, red signs don't bother me as much as this orange sign for some reason. I don't know why my eye just goes to the orange.
Well,
That's
I
why
mean,
I was-
the whole
signs,
purpose of a sign cookie is to create visual impact. You know, I
Yeah, but
mean,
if I'm driving, I don't want to be visually impacted to the point that I distract myself. That was my concern. I know you're a sign pro, so hit me with all your bullets, Murphy.
I got bullets, bullets I have. It, you know, I've driven by that as it sits or as it sat previously, and
Yeah, the
I-
color scheme is different.
I find it a little atrocious, you know, just simply because it's a lot, a lot going on previously when it was simple.
Yeah.
Storage and public storage, that's their national symbol, and
I know.
it really doesn't bother me at all. Again, they're meeting code, and recommendation of approval stands heavy with me.
Yeah.
I can
Connor?
agree. I agree with Murphy on this. I think one of the things that bothered me with the signs before is, as far as distraction, was there was too much to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the logo, you had all the text, you had multiple signs on this facade where, this is more like you glance at it, you see it's public storage, you move on. But, and the orange, I'm not a huge fan of orange, but it is their logo color. So, I do appreciate the fact that they're keeping with their brand.
Yeah, it's
and
consistent.
brand colors.
It's still going to be orange,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
even with the reduction. But
Well-
again, I feel like this is a better look, for lack of a better term.
Well,
Say again, Murphy, I didn't hear the last word you
I
said.
think it's just a better look altogether
Oh.
than the busyness of the previous.
Just from a ordinance standpoint, there's nothing that would prevent them from painting that whole building that
Right.
color.
right.
And I was gonna make a comment, the next one we see for the public storage, they already have. Their building colors are gray and orange. And you'll see that on the next one.
I'm torn because I like the reduction in the number of signs on that side, because before, when they had multiple signs, it is a little overboard, especially because it really does read as the same side. But the public storage one is obviously more visually impacting, because if you just had if it was just the Simply sign, their logo is a little less in your face, but that's their brand, and I you almost kind of just know it when you pass. So I don't know that it would be that distracting. It's visually, it does have a bigger impact than the other one, even though the other one has multiple. And I think part of it might be because this is digitally put on here rather than being a real picture of it,
Mhm.
so you don't get the shade and shadow that you would in the real life.
Yeah.
But the reduction signs I find desirable, even if it's a trade-off for the orange.
Yeah, because we're not going to change their logo. That's their privilege. That's their company logo.
That's their brand.
But I just wonder about reducing it. Because I wish we had a way to scale the impact there, what a sign reduction of 20% would be.
I mean,
Because I don't know that it would be that much. Because I think, what were the I'm sorry, I just had eye surgery, so I'm having trouble reading your sizes on there. How tall was it? And wide? That's what I don't remember. I think, yeah, it was on your next
There
slide.
it is, 48 inches for the actual
The
letters.
lettering, it was 8'10"
8'10" for the sign, so,
and then 44 feet long.
yeah.
And I'm trying to remember, it was how high above above street level is different though, because you're driving and that's an elevated road.
It's at the level of the elevated road, basically.
Yeah,
So I've got another location in Deep Ellum that they did a few years ago. I don't know if you remember a while back,
Yeah.
but they've actually painted that orange on the building and you can kind of get a better idea of what color that orange would look like on the building. Let me share this real quick.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think it's, because the orange is such a dominant visual impact, that's what really, I'm not trying to
You'll
be,
have to see it there.
I'm not trying to be, oh, okay.
So
I remember
basically
that
that's
one,
on
yes, I
the,
remember that one.
Yeah,
Some orange?
yep.
and here's one on the other side.
And I think they even used sort of like, instead of it just being painted, the orange was kind of like some acrylic or material because there's a certain reflectivity to it or something. If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's not as in your face.
So
It's
it's the
interesting.
same type of construction, just
Yeah.
without the backplate.
Is it the same identical color of paint? Because it does not hit you as hard that way as it does.
And again, you gotta remember, in anything digital, there's a color shift
Yeah,
depending on what screen you're looking at. But that was, and you also remember, there's also gonna be UV fade on any of this stuff already. So that's probably had a little bit of fade to it.
but on the construction of this sign, don't we do, well, I think you guys told me before that orange is one of the ones that's more susceptible to fade or
Yeah.
something.
Anything with red in it.
Yep.
Red tones,
Yep.
yeah.
I'll stop sharing. You can share that again.
So,
I mean,
um,
my bigger concern was the side facing the
the apartment,
town,
the townhomes.
you know.
Because we
I-
did get
I
a
understand.
before, yeah.
Yeah, I understand why they put the signs up at the top tower, but that the non-lit sign seems like a little bit overkill, but like you said, it's not by facade, so.
And I believe the other place had a sign on the southeast elevation or southwest elevation that just said storage,
Right.
Yeah.
that was not eliminated.
Stop, go back to the ones that were facing the townhouses. See, they're toward the end of your
Yep.
presentation, I think.
Yeah, it's the last one. Yeah, that little.
This one showed both of the
Yeah.
signs that are on that side. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So I'm going to look at sign sizes on those. Yeah, the one on the wall, I think, is that the one that was 130 square feet?
The one on the right side is 130 square feet,
And then the other was
194.
194, but it was the flat painted on.
Yes.
And if I remember right, that one was eliminated, right? Both of those were eliminated.
No.
The tower was eliminated, the other one was,
Eliminated on both sides. It's got
The tower one's eliminated, but this one is non-eliminated. It's FCO.
Yeah, it's not painted on.
No, the previous.
Oh, the previous, yes, they were both eliminated.
Both eliminated.
It's better. I just wish that the left sign was down lower. Because I get the tower one is meant to catch from far away, but it seems like this other sign is meant for the slower traffic that's there.
a pedestrian traffic.
Pedestrian traffic. So I almost wish it was kind of centered above that arch thing above that. So, because again, it looks proximity, it looks really close, but we're trading 2 lighted signs for 1 lighted sign, so.
Yeah,
Again, maybe it's the
well, and I
right.
guess, since I'm not the sign expert, I'm just thinking in terms of a pedestrian. If I'm a pedestrian walking around, or if I'm looking out my front door, and I'm at street level, then do I even notice the top one? And you have a point about if it's really targeting, it depends on who your target is, I guess, because if you're
Yeah.
targeting pedestrian traffic, then down lower would probably be more effective. but I don't know if that's a suggestion that the tenant would really go for, the sign tenant. Because I think they're renting that building to acquire it,
Mhm.
so it's a change of tenants.
So where the brick is different color, that's where the other sign was.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
that's all just Photoshop and they took the old sign out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Because I looked at that and went, wow, that's distracting. Yeah. Well, do we have a consensus then?
No. Oh,
Wow.
they registered, but they're not.
David and I are leaning one way, you guys are leaning another, so let's try to reach a consensus here. What do we need to do?
It's actually 3 against 2.
Why? You don't get double counted, Murphy.
I'm gonna lean on the professional people of the city that recommend approval. You know,
Well, I mean, again, I think overall the direction is better than where we were.
Mhm.
So, I mean, for that, I could be agreeable to it. Because we
Yeah.
are better than where we were, because this has always been one of those buildings that we're all involved in kind of.
Well, it's unfortunate that it's right there facing a major
Yeah,
interstate and
absolutely.
that it's across the street from people's homes.
Agreed. But again, it's going in the right direction. They made compromises, so I
Okay,
guess I could be.
yeah,
supportive.
you have to remember too, guys, that the higher a sign, the smaller it gets. You know,
Right.
in a perception point of view and line of sight and everything else. And there are obstructions on this. I did drive this about a week ago, and after I saw this presentation, and you know, they'd already taken the old signs down, had the banners, and you know, you look at the banners and they're way too small.
Yeah,
You know, in essence. So again, this facility is for the residents of Farmers Market, you know, and those townhomes and so forth and so on.
right, because they don't have adequate storage usually in a
Yeah,
townhome, something like that.
they're certainly proximity oriented, but again, I disdain the other one so much.
agreed.
I tend to like this one a lot just because it's simple and point blank.
It's in the right direction.
Yeah, it's you know, we bantered over the other one in committee, and boy, it just pained me. But you know,
Yes.
they met all the criteria, and we
Right.
approved it. And this is
Yeah.
actually cleaner, simpler, and certainly more functional from representing the Public Storage brand. And
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't object to your making a motion. I will probably vote my conscience, but it sounds like you've convinced David. And then the next layer of judgment would be, this one has to go on the city planning commission, right?
Mhm.
So if somebody objects there, they can maybe, if they want to override the
Exactly.
decision, then that's their prerogative.
sure,
But I know there's been a lot of pushback about size of signs, and I still get harassed about what's the Leonardo Hotel across the freeway? I still get harassed every time I see some of the people on CBC that look at that during the briefings. So that'd be hard work.
So,
So,
so
yeah,
I have a question then. Since we have 4 here, do we want to vote for these separately?
I had no objection to voting for them as one
Yeah,
unit.
I think we take them.
Okay, could we have a motion that we consider all of these as one unit?
Yeah, I'll
Motion.
motion to consider them all as one.
So David beat you, so you're the second. Is that okay, Todd?
That's perfect.
Okay, then we'll do a roll call vote.
So Murphy, we gotta vote on the.
We've got to vote on that motion. Okay. I guess we have to do a roll call vote because we're virtual.
Yeah.
Okay, Murphy, you vote for the motion?
I vote yes
Vote
to.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, Todd, you vote to take all as one as well?
I vote yes.
Okay, David,
Yes.
and I also agree. So that's a majority, so that motion passes. We will consider all four
Yes.
signs as one vote. Okay, now do we have a motion about approval or not? No
I'll
motion?
motion to approve.
I'm sorry, who was that? I didn't.
Murphy.
Murphy
I'll
motion
motion
to
to
approve.
approve.
Okay, do we have a second?
This is Todd. I'll second that motion.
Okay, Todd seconds, and we'll do our roll call vote again. Murphy, your vote?
Yes, approve.
Todd?
Yes, approved.
David?
Approve.
And I'm the one Maverick. I vote no. That's my conscience. You guys have voted with me. That's okay.
The yin and the yang.
I know. Well, at least we have a friendly group now so that. you
You're
know,
our
it's-
counterbalance, Cookie. You're awesome.
I thought you were gonna say you're the off balance one.
Well,
Motion
not
passes
some of that.
3-1.
I certainly did some of that.
Can we move on to next presentation?
All right.
We
The
do
next,
have- We do have 2 speakers on the line for this one.
okay,
Is this,
yeah, this next one is, this next proposed sign is detached, composed of, yes. I apologize, I thought I made it. It's detached, composed of illuminated channel letters mounted on, no, I made a typo, I apologize. This next one is composed of, I will correct this for CPC, is composed of aluminum channel letters
Okay.
mounted to an aluminum frame reinforced by steel. And it spells out QUAD.
Okay.
And it's an open air construction. It's a subdivision sign. Applicable code for this is met. It is 51A-7.1500 McKinney Avenue, SD. So please disregard the first portion of this.
And that's in the infamous PD 193, right? That's one of the
This
largest
is-
PDs I can remember.
This is the quadrangle.
It's a quadrangle.
This is,
The subdistrict is in a quadrangle.
this is a part of the quad that had just passed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Here's the purpose. I'll let you
Mhm.
brief through this if you desire.
Well, we just approved this, so we're familiar with it.
yeah.
Subject site is located in the newly passed quad subdistrict within the McKinney Avenue sign district. The site is approximately 1 6/10 of a mile northwest of City Hall, east of North Stemmons, west of North Central, and north of Woodall Rogers. Here's the location on the SPSD map. Aerial map and zoning map, location indicated by the red star. This is the customer provided overhead map. And you can see the location indicated by the red arrow, labeled with the A. Right here is where the sign will go. Proposed sign is to be installed at the southern retail area pedestrian entrance on Ruth Street. If you'd like, I can go ahead and open the,
The thing I asked you about that shows where it is relative to the other signs, because I think I remember where you have to be there, Scott, I think that was where we had a couple of signs. And I just didn't remember all of them because we went through so many different signs. And I want to be sure that adding an additional sign helps rather than overloads the area.
okay. Okay,
Because this one, which is Ruth Street's here on the left-hand side. Right?
right here.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was saying. I'm having trouble reading.
It's, so the corner of Ruth and Howell, this is their retail area that's being built.
Right.
And of course, the existing
Existing.
office building. The sign you were referring to just now is over here.
Those were some that are in
That's-
the pedestrian entry area.
There's a pedestrian entry area here, and then there's that walk-through sign that you'll remember Tori was talking about that you walk through. It's got a quad on one side and a multi-tenant on the other, and you can walk through the middle of.
Yeah,
And then over here is this sign on this street
it's
frontage.
between those first two smaller
Right.
buildings, not the office building.
Correct,
Okay.
it's right here. And that's the one, it's QUAD.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then there's the big Q, which is on this frontage over here. So you'll have
Yeah,
these three on one on each frontage.
Right.
And then you'll have the other attached one painted on the building over here
okay.
eventually.
Yeah, because I didn't know where they stood on installing those other signs yet.
I think we've seen the application, we've seen the applications on this one and this one, but these, due to size, won't have to go to committee.
Yeah, they applied for B the same time as they did A, but
Mhm.
we could count them as two different signs, so they're under the 50 square foot and they met the setback, so they actually don't have to come to committee.
Okay.
But we've already seen all that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a surprise.
Yeah. It was just that some people had said, why do they need some, they asked me, why do they need so many signs? And I said, well, you've got different entrances, and I think they were concerned about multiple signs on one street facade
Yeah.
that they thought served dual purpose, and, you know, that's the applicant, that's their business, that's already been approved.
Yeah, but these
Because I
are,
think some of them are in the 50-foot director approval level. weren't they?
yeah, these are the subdivision signs, so they're, all they are is quad, advertising the quad.
Yeah, so it was very specific.
Yeah, this is the one that we're reviewing today.
Mhm.
And then this is the other one that you were referring to, sign B. And then there's this one that goes,
The big
Yeah.
Q, which is kind of their
Mhm.
logo that,
and then that's the one that goes on the building.
Good.
So those are the 4 subdivision signs.
okay.
And then the rest of them will be their monument style.
Tenant identification.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And is that the end of your presentation?
No, that should.
Okay, go back and finish your presentation then, Scott. That just helped me get
Mhm.
a visual of where these other buildings are located. Appreciate you doing that.
Not a problem. This sign is 60 square feet and complies with requirements for detached subdivision signs in this district. Here's the drawings of the sign and attachment points. And as we've seen from their models and everything, this is an open air concept. Pretty neat design. It is 10 foot tall, 6 foot wide. QUAD channel letters mounted to a frame on a concrete base. It'll have uplighting
Yeah.
Mhm.
and 3 colors. It'll PO1 sunshine,
That's the yellow,
yellow, satin nickel frame, and then pure white hardware. And the engineering. These are the current photos of sites. So I had to peek through the construction barrier, but this is the location it'll be going, which is right here.
Okay. I can't remember, Scott, was that kind of on a sort of a little pedestal or
Yes.
something? Okay, that's what I remembered.
Yeah.
And you almost see it there, it's just not through all the construction stuff. Okay.
And this is if you look northwest on Luke Street, and then southeast on Luke Street. And then a couple of detached signs in the area.
Mhm.
Staff recommends approval.
And we do have 2 speakers online.
Okay. Do you want to recognize the speakers and see if they have any coming in
Sure.
before we have questions and answers, but they may have some things they answer for us.
So we have Frank Bowler and Tony McMillan. Tony McMillan was the applicant. If you wish to say anything, you'll need to turn on your camera and your microphone.
Comments then.
Okay, I don't see either of you, and for us to count you as present in the meeting, we have to have your video on as well. So if you want to address us, if you will turn your video on and unmute yourselves.
Oh, there we go.
Tony McMillan, ASI.
Okay, we can hear you, but we can't see you yet. There we go.
There you go.
Sorry about that. I have two screens set up, so you're looking at the side of our heads at the moment.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, and what did you want to share with us? Oops, we just lost your video again.
He's still online.
He is online, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we really do not have anything to add at this time. The application was pretty straightforward, just looking for the recommendation by the board.
Okay, and Todd, Murphy, do either of you guys have any questions? David, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I mean, again, we've kind of seen this before when we were going through this originally. And, you know, that's a large sign, but because the way they designed it and it's open and it's very creative, it's more like art than a sign. And it doesn't have that imposing nature, even though it's a 10-foot sign,
Okay,
10-foot tall sign. I mean, I like it, and I think it's one of the better designed signs we've seen lately.
okay. Todd, Murphy, did you guys have any comment or questions?
I think David articulated that perfectly well. I agree with everything he said.
Thank you.
I spit.
Okay, are we having a technical challenge? Because we're losing y'all's video periodically.
I think it's just the,
It's the TV.
yeah, it's that
So
TV
TV,
and
are you able to
Wi-Fi.
see
Yeah,
them?
I can still see it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're on screen for me.
And if there are no questions or other concerns, do we have a motion?
A motion to approve.
David, motion to approve, and do we have a second?
This is Todd. I'll second.
Todd seconds. Okay, we'll go through our roll call since you're virtual. Okay, Murphy, your vote, please, sir.
I approve wholeheartedly. Very creative,
Approve.
very good way to go.
Okay, Todd,
Approved.
approve, David,
Approve.
and I vote approval too. So we have 4 votes in approval and no negative votes.
All right. Tony, we'll let you know the next steps. The next meeting will be City Plan Commission next month.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Stop.
2 more for public storage. We still don't have anybody from.
No. I'm sure we're both on the slogan street, but yeah.
Okay. These post signs are attached, composed of illuminated channel letters mounted on backer panel on the northwest and southeast elevations and bearing the name public storage. Applicable code sections met 51A-7.900 downtown SPSD. There's purpose out of downtown. It was Monica and subject site located within the perimeter subdistrict of the downtown SPSD. The site is approximately 1 2/10 of a mile northwest of City Hall to the west of I-35. Here's our SPSD map. Aerial and zoning maps. This is our first sign. We have two applications today for this location. This is the first application, 2402-160010. This will be on the northwest elevation, as indicated by the red star. This is the customer-provided aerial. The proposed sign is to be installed on the northwest elevation of the building. The sign is 151.3 square feet and complies with the requirements for attached signs in this district. Here's the before, after, and the nighttime photos. And you can see again, this smaller than the previous sign. Dimensions, 27 foot 6 inches wide by 5 foot 6 inches tall, 151.3 square feet. Same colors, same lighting, same build type as the previous location. Same specifications. This is the second location, or second sign, same location. 2402160021. The proposed sign is to be installed on the southeast elevation of the building. This sign is 448.9 square feet and complies with the requirements for attached signs in this district. Even at this size, it is still smaller than what was there before. "47 foot 8 inch wide, 9 foot 5 inches tall, 448.9 square feet, same colors, same lighting, same build type. It's 8 inches deep as the previous signs were. Same fabrication. Here are current photos, and this, as I was mentioning, they've already painted this building orange and gray. This is the southeast facade.
Right.
This is the northeast facade. Now, I was hoping that they would be here because I have a concern about this. They have 2 sign applications, but they have 3 banners up.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
now which facade is,
This is the one that's actually submitted the sign
oh,
above
that's
that.
the one you're
building.
looking at on the right hand
Yeah.
side?
They don't have any applications for a sign right here.
Okay. But they're showing a banner up there?
So I did intend to ask them about that.
Got a little zoomer.
Mhm. And I was trying to remember, because it seemed like there was parking for trucks or something on one side of that, or some kind of parking. I think it was the second facade. I was trying to remember what was at the second facade. Go back to your previous, please, because I was trying to get a frame of reference of, oh, maybe it's across the street, I was thinking.
There's Bus Depot across the street.
That was it, that's what I saw before, and I was trying to get a frame of reference for that, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I saw, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You can see they've removed several signs that were there before.
Yeah, this one had some ginormous ones, if you remember when it came.
Oh, yeah, I remember because we submitted one recommendation, I think at CPC, they actually asked for a further reduction,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And some signs for the area.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah, we recommend approval on these 2 applications.
I did have one question, Scott, it was something I read in the report, and I don't think I brought, well, I didn't bring my PC, so I'm going from memory, because I made some notes.
I can pull the reports up.
No, it says on Sign occupies 3% of the 13,520 square foot facade, less than 18% of the allowance of a secondary facade. I'm sorry, I thought secondary facade was defined as 15% allowance of a secondary facade. Am I misunderstanding what was stated? Because 18% versus 15% is what threw me for a loop. I just want to be sure that I'm not,
It's 25 on the secondary facade and 15 on the secondary facade.
so are you saying 18% of the allowed, 15%? That's why I'm confused. I just want to be sure that I'm
Which one
clear.
was that novel?
That was that second one, it was the, southeast elevation.
This,
Yeah, it was on the second sign, if I remember correctly.
Generally,
just wanna
that's
be
the way
sure.
I would word those is,
I'm
it
sorry,
could be a
what?
percentage of the allowance is typically how we worded those, but you'll
So would it be 18, 15%?
typically, but
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
you know,
It's just, you guys know that I'm not a sign professional and I'm easily confused. So I just want to make sure it's
15% would be
clear.
a very large sign.
Okay. Okay, and maybe before you take it to CBC, you can expand or clarify that verbiage, because if it threw me for a loop, it could really cause some confusion for other folks as dumb as I am about signage. Okay, so if we can just get that clarification in the report, that'd be helpful. Do we have any discussion, comments, guys? Other than, okay, if we have a motion, I'm concerned about the fact that Scott brought up about that additional sign, that there's no application for at present. We can put something in based on approval that there is no additional signage required for that other facade, because it doesn't actually face the same direction, because it's on the side, kind of around the corner.
Mhm.
So I don't know how we would need to word that, but we might need to.
So how does that work when they get sign approval? Then the banners come down, they install their sign.
Yeah.
So is that just an enforcement one then? Is it just enforcement? really?
Because they have no permit for that other sign, is that how it would work?
Well, what they'll need to do is probably take this down before it goes to CPC and.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
remove
they-
that,
yeah.
so that there's a clear representation,
Yeah.
this is all the signage
Mhm.
that's going to be up on that building. Okay, because that,
That's-
I hadn't even noticed that
Get them to
in
do
the
it.
slides until you mentioned it, Scott. I just want it to be clear,
Would be small.
because it looked like it was basically the same size, at least banner wise, as the one that's around the corner from it.
So we could give them a permit for a 50 square foot banner and then it wouldn't have to come to the committee. So it's just gonna depend on what size that banner is.
That sounds like an enforcement thing, not something.
Not something.
Yeah.
we-
Committee deals with. We only deal with what is submitted.
What is
Yeah, it's their
Few sizes,
application.
we think of it that way.
Yeah, we look at what they're.
As far as the two applications that were submitted, we recommend approval, and I
Right.
will get with them on that third elevation to see
Okay.
what their intent is.
Because like you said, if they go with a 50-foot banner, then that's director approval and doesn't come back to us. What, Mike, you're frowning.
Well, I was trying to get the person that was registered with the sign company to call in and get on, but she won't answer her phone.
Yeah, well, she may be in a meeting or something where she can. Okay, so do we have a motion then for approval of the two? Oh, wait a minute, we have to consider approving them both together. So do we have a motion to consider both signs in one vote? I see a nod, Todd. Does that mean you move to do that?
Yeah, I'll motion to consider both CAs as one vote.
Okay, consideration to include both in one vote. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Murphy's
So-
gonna say something.
It's moving.
It's your motion, Todd. Come on. You guys. Oops, he dropped off. Okay, is he on yours, Jason? Okay. What's your vote, Todd?
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, we got your motion. We just need your vote. Your approval then?
Oh, yes. Approval.
Okay. Murphy,
I'll second that emotion.
you already seconded it. We just need your vote, fella.
Oh,
Just vote and say-
Wake up over there. Wake up.
I was doing a Todd impersonation.
Okay.
I will second the motion to combine these.
Well, we've already, that's already the
Yeah.
motion. Do you vote?
That's what we're voting on.
Do you approve the motion to consider them both as one vote?
I approve the motion.
Okay.
Approved.
David approved, and the chair approves. So it carries 4, it's unanimous for both. Chris, okay. Now we need a motion for approval of both signs.
I'll motion to approve both signs.
Okay, and that was Todd, your voice?
That's correct.
Okay, so a motion by Todd, second.
Murphy will approve the motion to approve.
Murphy, just give me a second.
The 2 signs, I second the motion.
But we're considering both as one vote, so do you vote to approve both signs?
Or
I
you
do.
seconded the motion.
I
do,
second.
okay, oh, we need, okay. David,
Approved.
approved and chair approved. So that's unanimous. I do have an amended copy of the minutes because there was a typo in the first. And it just had to do with the number of people who voted for approval.
Mhm.
And it carried 3-0. So with that adjustment that Scott has made, do we have a motion to approve as corrected so that we have 3 people voting to carry the motion because we only had 3 people present?
Oh, motion to approve the amended notes.
Okay, a motion to approve, I'll second. Okay, Todd, your vote to approve the minutes?
Approved as noted
Okay,
or as amended.
okay, Murphy, your vote?
Approved as amended.
Okay, David?
Approved.
And the chair votes to approve as amended. Does somebody have an ink pen so I can sign the minutes? I brought my pencil.
One last thing, on the last case, I did get a chat, I guess the mic didn't come on, but Frank Bowler was with Barnett. He said, "I'm sorry, my mic's not working, but the extra banner was actually a mistake from our install team and we will be taking down."
Thanks.
Okay,
That's resolved. That's good.
okay, that's resolved then, good. Okay, if there's no other business, then the meeting is concluded at 11 o'clock. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Murphy. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, guys.
Hey.